Hello and good afternoon. My name is Amanda Miles, and I'm going to be going through a business training course to let you learn and understand how to do proper business in the country of Mozambique. There are several key categories that we'll need to address when doing business in Mozambique: geography and language, U.S. relations, holidays, punctuality, attire, greetings, communication, business meetings, and do's and don'ts. Mozambique is located in Southeast Africa. Its official language is Portuguese, with over 50% of Mozambicans speaking this language, but it is also a very multilingual country. There's also over 60 different dialects from the Bantu language, and English is rarely spoken. The only time English is spoken is in the capital of Maputo, where the only place you will find English spoken is mostly in hotels or beach resorts. Mozambique and U.S. relations are very good and are steadily improving. The U.S. had aided Mozambique in 1993 after the end of their Civil War. America had aided in economic development, poverty reduction, and job creations. The United States still continues their efforts to improve healthcare, education, and food security in this country. Being heavily involved in the economy, a bilateral investment treaty has been signed to continue trade and economic relations. And from being the largest bilateral donor, the U.S. has also developed programs to help their society, like the AIDS Relief, Feed the Future Initiative, and the President's Malaria Initiative. Mozambique holidays are throughout the year, but their biggest holiday is January 1st, which is New Year's Day. Even though this is only celebrated on one day, it's actually celebrated for the entire month. So do not plan any business trips or negotiations throughout this month. Mozambique punctuality is very far and few between because it's a very communal society. It is not uncommon for meetings, announcements, or lectures to run late. And socializing takes precedence over set schedules and deadlines. And it's actually considered rude if you have other obligations and you don't stay for tea if asked. And buses are always late, and if they don't have full capacity, they can be late till up to like 2 to 3 hours. And trains are always normally late as well because of their train line. Business attire for men and women. For men, just a basic suit or nice pants with a button-up shirt and tie will suffice. And for women, a suit or dress with a blazer. When you dress nice, make sure that you are always clean and all of your clothes are well ironed. Mozambique greetings. For men greeting men, energetic, long handshakes using both hands are extremely acceptable. They normally always use your right hand when shaking each other's hands. And for men, they will shake with their right hand, and with their left hand, they will cup the other person's shoulder or arm. For women greeting women, handshakes, verbal statements, or nods are acceptable. For opposite genders greetings, handshakes or nods are acceptable, but no additional touching. It is actually considered very rude and impolite for a woman to go beyond those bounds. Mozambique communication. When you address someone, you use a title with a surname when calling someone by name. If you do not know their professional title, you always start by saying "O Senor" or "A Senora" for Miss or Mrs. Eye contact for men, speaking with men, or the same gender, is very important when talking. You always look down when speaking to elders, and in some women, they may look down when speaking to men. And it is not uncommon to have no personal space in Mozambique. The closer you are, the better they feel they can communicate with you. Some gestures that may seem a little different is to call you or to have you come over. They will hiss at you or psst at you. There's also the scratching gesture to have you come over, which is they hold out the palm of their hand towards you and go like this. And it's also extremely acceptable for men to hold hands to show their friendship. Mozambique business meetings. They rarely start on time. They're not very punctual. But as a foreigner in a business setup, you should always stay punctual. Before the beginning of the meeting, you always want to greet the senior individuals first. And the discussions will begin with whoever initiated the meeting. And then the meeting will close by the most senior person in the room. And be prepared if negotiations are needed to be there for a long time. Mozambicans are known to hold out negotiations for as long as possible because they do not take anything lightly. Do's and don'ts. What you need to remember to always do is always greet everyone with a nod, and that is everyone even if you do not know them. Receive and give objects with both hands. Always shake hands with your right hand. And before a meeting, always ask about family, health, etc. before dealing with any sort of business. The major don'ts. Never take anything with your left hand. It is extremely inappropriate to touch someone's leg during a conversation, no matter male or female. And it is impolite to refuse food when offered, and never address anyone by their first name without permission. That is everything that you will need to know to do a proper business transaction with Mozambique. Thank you.